I made a video a little while ago talking about how to bake Bedrock. I'll leave a link to this video in the description. Oh my gosh, my words are just stumbling out of my mouth. But anyways, today's video is going to be about comments. Yes, comments. No, not those comments, those ones. Yes, I'm talking about the tens of hundreds of thousands of millions of comments you guys left all piled up. That was a lot of comments. I'm talking about these comments, and these ones, and these ones. Anyways, you guys know there was a lot of comments and a lot of questions, and most of those questions basically asked similar questions like, why won't this work? Or why doesn't this work? Or I'm playing on this server, will it work on the server? Does it work on Bedrock? Does it work on PS4? Does it work on Xbox? Anyways, this video is going to be answering some of those questions and helping you understand exactly what to do in order to make this work, or if it even will work for your version of Minecraft. So stick around for the entire video because I answer a ton of things that you may not have seen yet or thought about until this video. And with that said, don't forget to like the video if it helps you out, or subscribe if you are new here because I make a ton of videos just like this one. Also, before we get started, if you guys have any other questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below because I will answer them. I do answer comments as quickly as possible, usually within like half an hour. So just go ahead and throw those down in the comments and I will either A, make a video on it if it's that profound, or B, just answer it for you. And if you're interested in joining the Discord as well, there'll be a link in the description as always. But now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. How's it going, everyone? My name is Snowy Blizzard and welcome to another Minecraft video. Today's video, we're going to be answering some comment questions on how to break Bedrock, and I'll stop shaking my screen out like this because it probably gets really annoying. So to start this video off, there are a ton, and I mean a ton, of people who said either this was patched or this doesn't work, or for some reason this is a terrible video, which yes, I agree, they are awful videos, awfully helpful, but anywho, all jokes aside, there are a lot of these comments and I just want to apologize if it didn't work for some of you, or if I got some of you trapped. I know there were a few people who played either on Bedrock or who played on Java and just got trapped on top of the Bedrock for one reason or another, and I want to apologize for that. It is my responsibility to let you guys know of the cautions before you start, and make sure you're aware of the risk you're taking when you do this, and the chance that you could get stuck on the Bedrock, because that's not a good thing. No one ever enjoys being stuck in a world, especially when it's hardcore. There were a couple people who played on a hardcore world too got stuck, so I apologize for that, and let's get on with the video. There are a couple of things you can do. Always interrupting my video. There are a couple of things you can do when your Bedrock breaking strategy just doesn't work. I just want to let you guys know that this does not work on Bedrock. Bedrock includes anything on a phone or an iPad or a tablet or something along those lines, anything on console, which would be Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, Wii, you name it, even Windows 10 edition as well. You can play Bedrock on PC. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would do that, but you know, if it floats your boat, then you might have Bedrock on PC. So Windows 10 edition, this doesn't work. And another thing as well, on Bedrock Edition, if you do happen to glitch on top of the Bedrock, which that does still work, you'll get stuck up there. There's no way around it. The build limit is 128 at the moment, so you will get stuck on top of the Bedrock. Just refrain from doing that, please. Please. I beg of you. Okay, we have a couple really common questions to start the video off, and then after that we will head into some more unique questions or some things I found interesting that I just want to mention. So the first question is, how would I make this work if I was on a server? This thing works if you run vanilla, but if you run anything other than vanilla, like paper, for example, which is a type of Minecraft similar to vanilla, but it does mess with some things to either make it more user-friendly or reduce lag. And so I'm going to show you right now how to adjust the files so that it actually works on your own server. So if you follow me over to my server, I can show you exactly where to find that. Here we are at the Apex Minecraft hosting homepage. If you are interested in hosting a Minecraft server, this is a very cheap and reliable site to use. I've been using it for nearly a year now, and I've really enjoyed it. If you're interested in starting your own, feel free to use the link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so I will earn a commission. You will help me continue to create content for you guys, and you can use their code for 25% off your first month hosting a server. So if you follow me over to the panel on the top right, we can go ahead and connect to my server. And we can go over here, follow me to the FTP file access, or wherever you have your files. If you host your server from your own PC, you can just access these files directly, but this one requires a password. So once we've typed in a password, you will see a list of all of your server files. I have a ton of random junk files, but if we scroll down here, you will see a paper.yml file. This is on any server you host or on any world. If you have paper installed, that can be an issue, and that can actually prevent you from breaking Bedrock. So what we're going to do is follow it over here to the right side, at least on Apex, and we're going to hit edit, and then you're going to come here and scroll down until you see allow headless pistons and allow permanent block break exploits. What you're going to do is set these both to true. They will be set to false as default, and you can go ahead and change these two to true right here. So you can see in paper.yml, we can allow these both to be true, and then you hit save. And as always, you want to refresh your server to make sure this is fully in action. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and test out your new bedrock breaking skills. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So as you can see, we can do the same thing if your PC hosts your own server. You can right click and then open with whichever app allows you to do that. You can use something like Notepad, for example. And then if you scroll down and look for allow permanent block break exploits, you can go ahead and change that to true. Make sure that's set to true. And allow headless pistons is also right here. Make sure that's set to true. And then you go ahead and file save. And that document will be saved right there, and your server will be refreshed as long as it's not running. Another question might be, does this work in single player, whether it be in creative mode or in survival mode? And that answer is yes. As you can see from this clip that's playing right now, you can see in my survival world, I am breaking bedrock, and it works just fine, both in survival and creative. Another question might be, how and where exactly do you use your autoclicker? And you will see from this clip, once you activate the machine, you want to get the piston in your hand, which I talked about, and you want to go into swim mode. And so once you're in swim mode, you go as close to the obsidian as possible. You look as vertically as possible because you want the piston to be facing downwards. I don't believe I mentioned that directly in the video, but you want the piston to be facing downwards when you activate the contraption, so the piston head glitches through the bedrock. You don't want it to be facing back towards you or off to the right or left or whatever. You want it to be facing downwards. That's why you go in swim mode, so that you can look up and the piston can push down. And you activate your auto clicker as soon as you get your cursor in the position, so that as soon as the TNT blows the piston up, you are ready. An important note, if you are going to break bedrock on top of the roof, please bring more than one set so that you have more than one chance to break the bedrock. And on top of that, make sure you bring obsidian for a portal and flint and steel at that, because you need flint and steel to light a portal on top of the bedrock. There is no way around it. All right, so another question might be, what should you do when you don't have an autoclicker? And the solution is easy. I mentioned a method you could use in the video if you're interested in that, without installing macros or an autoclicker or anything like that. It's where you switch the right click button to any button on your keyboard and it basically sets a macro for you. If you're interested, I'll link the video in the description. As always, you can go check it out and see exactly how I did that. But if that doesn't float your boat, you could also set up a macro in Razer or any other keyboard that supports macros. That's basically just an extra key that you don't use. You can click it and it'll place a bunch of things just like this. Technical difficulties aside, I think we have one more question about autoclickers. What speed should I set my autoclicker to? Now this was a really interesting question because I usually just set my autoclicker to the fastest speed. However, I can explain this to you really quick. Each server or Minecraft individual single player world runs at a maximum speed of 20 ticks per second to process. It can run it faster, but there will only be an output of 20 ticks per second sent to the player. So if your game processes less than it usually does, it can still go really low without touching that bottleneck of 20 ticks per second. Sometimes they'll run even at like 50 ticks per second behind the scenes, but it only produces about 20 ticks per second. So if you divide a second by 20 parts, then you should only need one click every 5 milliseconds if I've done the math properly. However, I usually set mine just to one click every 1 millisecond. Just to make sure I have a little extra insurance on the click. So honestly, just set it as fast as you want or as fast as you possibly can, because it'll only be on for a second or two and it helps with the consistency. Another comment I had was, can you show me how you make your thumbnails? And yes, if that's something you guys want to see, let me know in the comments and I can definitely make a video on that. And the final question is, can you prank your friends with this? Indeed, we have a place on our server, on the server I host for a bunch of content creators, where we actually made a chunk error because another streamer on the server reached his community milestone when he was doing his charity live stream. So one of the goals was to make a chunk error, and the chunk error is massive and the bedrock is gone, and I've had my fair share of fun pushing people out of it, but they're not supposed to know. I'm pretty sure that does it for just about all of those comments. Yes, I see all of you. I think it does that for just about all the comments and questions. If you have any more, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And if I helped you out in any way, shape, or form, be sure to hit the like button. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe because I make a ton of content just like this one. And as always, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.